Experiment with the opportunity. The gap who know now was in the body. The remaining ones are not was in charge. Sometimes I ask myself, my punishment I'm involved in this thing because I don't understand. I don't understand. Look at where we are. Look at where we are. Look at where we are. These people that are supposed to understand what we are pursuing. Engage over so he cannot understand what is the problem between them. Some of them in Europe here. Some of these media warriors in Europe here knows that how to ignore somebody who is misbehaving, overlooked him, make him irrelevant. No, some apata hebu immediately. Now one name when everything or time will report immediately. So matter legafo. Complain. Ndike got us unu child got us naga. Happen on your one person man. None of you cannot even grow above this. You people now over your misconduct, you now drag everybody, creating disaffection here and there. Enemy and now, but as a experiment with yellow motor pilot here. Now one day banish charge. Who now know where to be match again at ground. I won't know idea. Now okay, vacuum of silent. Because the leadership will not quiet. All who know are gonna fill the gap. Now where the leader who got the information where the leadership who fill that gap one God until I bear with a decision and report. Until I bear with a country shall run. Oh my God. Oh, Chineke, people are behind my book. I don't know. I'm don't know even how is it better to quit this thing? I don't come is a zap on this thing. The pain is too much, the stress is too much. Not from the enemy, but from the also. The pain is unbearable. It's too much. What they call you a day. We are buying agawas. Because they water too much.
Now welcome back to this channel where we give an update. Basu Prime Minister talk say defeat of IPOB Nigeria is massive. The Aaron has announced he will quit. The pain for Mekbedema defeat is unbearable.
Anarchy is defined as a state of disorder due to absence of or non-recognition of authority or other controlling systems. In this nation now, you could see the absence of government in the security and welfare of the people. Total absence. Let's take the issue of security. And you see why I always cry about rule of law. Anarchy is the absence of rule of law and the presence of state of nature, which Thomas Hobbes described as being characterized in a nation where life has become short, brutish, nasty, poor, and solitary. We are approaching the state of nature. Take the issue of security. More than 200 persons were massacred on the eve of Christmas in Plateau State. Where was your government? They were in Lagos celebrating Christmas party. Absence of government. Śimòn, in March alone, and March has not reached. Today is 20th. So meaning within 2 weeks of March, more than 165 farmers have been killed and 3 billion naira demanded as ransom. Farmers. We have 109 senatorial zones in Nigeria, meaning for the first 2 weeks of March, average of more than one farmer has been killed in every senatorial zone. Absence of government. You have seen in this March how 287 innocent children and pupils were taken in Kaduna and headed like cattle into the bush. without anybody confronting them, no security presence, absence of authority, as anarchy.
Would you blame all of this on this present government?
You have seen how our men on uniform, 17 of them, massacred in South. When this government came in, they gave their office, the villa with coat of arms, to a non-state actor to malign our officers, to call them thieves. Is it by accident that the massacring of those 17 soldiers were from the area where the same person that called them thieves came from? I shouted and warned because I've been a lawyer to the army and I'm bearing a wound in my heart that I defended some officers in the court martial, won cases for them, and some of them went into the field and they were massacred by bandits, terrorists. So I am personally pained. I shouted. I said, this government, you don't know the damage you're doing to the image of our armed forces, that you're allowing somebody to come to Aso Rock sitting on the coat of arms, meaning he's bearing the effrontery of the government, to call our military men thieves. Now you have seen that the people are now treating the military men as thieves, massacring and killing them when they just went to make peace in March alone. That can be described as March madness. In the Southeast, you saw how people went into the UNTH, Medical College, and abducted the deputy director and the security man. In the Southwest, you saw how 2 traditional leaders were killed and they stretched their hand to Kwara and killed another traditional ruler. In Sokoto, you saw the way they were kidnapped. In Borno, people will go to IDP camps. I've just mentioned the 6 geopolitical zones where it's safe. In FCT, Nabiha died. And this government, you see, these bandits do no longer recognize the authority of this government. That's why somebody has the effrontery to come out publicly and say, let me negotiate, let the government buy me to negotiate with the terrorists. That was why the terrorists kidnapped 287 persons and demanded 40 trillion naira as ransom. Why? They are looking at themselves as the government. That is anarchy, non-recognition of the authority of government. And we're talking only about security. You want to talk about the economy? And you will be amazed. And we want to talk about rule of law? The problem is that this government does not even articulate its policies before bringing it out. Look at the student loan scheme. A government on its own prepared the law, took it to the National Assembly. In National Assembly, it's not only appointees that take a bow and go. Even legislation take bows and go. The National Assembly, the photocopy, National Assembly, allowed the student loan scheme to take a bow and go. And the executive now discovered that they could not even implement it because the provisions are unimplementable. And nobody in the National Assembly even pointed it out. The executive had to go back to National Assembly to write another bill. Student loan scheme, their own policy. The bill was from them. And they confessed it was unimplementable by their own letter within 9 months. And the bow and go National Assembly, they still took the bill and told the amended bill to bow and go. Fuel subsidy is gone. They are paying almost 1 trillion naira monthly on fuel subsidy. So what have they achieved apart from punishing the people? Employment, expatriate employment levy. They introduced it without even consulting Manufacturers Association of Nigeria. They have now removed it. They sanctioned Nigeria Republic. Ill-advisedly punished the whole 8 northern states, predominantly Muslims, in a Muslim ticket. And after 9 months, They removed it. The Republic said, no, we're not ready yet. You know why? Because you may have the right to declare when a war will commence, but you will not have the right to declare when it ends. This government is bereft of knowledge. That is why before you declare war, you would have to analyze how it will end and know whether you can go in. Nigeria is not Lagos where you sit down and you decree things and you expect it to work that way. Nigeria is a multi-ethnic, multi-religious, multinational society. And you have to factor in every interest. And you have to employ the utilitarian school of thought in your decisions and law. And this school of thought says you must look at how you will achieve the greatest happiness
Of all.
for the greatest number of people whenever you want to make a policy. So if you are doing any policy that has 6 geopolitical zones, your aim is 4 geopolitical zones and above. This government, in terms of appointment, is just concentrating, not even on Southwest, on the Lagos axis of the Jagabanic proteges, tainted with the Embiloko philosophy. Just that axis alone. And you're thinking you want to command loyalty, national loyalty? You won't even get it from Southwest. You want to command national loyalty? As a management student, they taught me about bureaucratic sabotage. This government is going to have an avalanche of it. Now, bureaucratic sabotage means, for instance, I am a director in a company and I'm coming to my office. There is a bottle, broken bottle that I just saw. I know if I leave this bottle, it's going to pierce somebody and wound somebody. But I also know that I am not the cleaner. It's not my duty. So if I pretend I didn't see it, nobody is going to hold me responsible. But I just sabotage bureaucracy because that bottle will wound somebody and the image of the organization will not be done. So people will not sabotage you when they have a sense of belonging and when they have a sense of loyalty to you. So it is not every sabotage that is illegal. There are some sabotage that is inspirational. People will like, why would I die for this government? Why would I do this? It's not my job. But they needed to do it to help your government. That's why we need inspiring leaders. Leaders that can make people to do something that is right, even when they're not there.
Is that why you supported Peter Obi?
Absolutely.
You think Peter Obi is better than what we're having today?
An inspiring leader.
There are those who believe that Peter Obi does not even measure up.
He was there in Anambra State.
Those who will say you cannot compare Anambra and Lagos State, if that is the indice.
Good. You can compare the policies. You can compare the environment. When Peter Obi came into Anambra State, Anambra was coming last in education. The governor of Anambra State, the former governor, Chinwoke Mbadunuju, was the only governor that PDP did not allow to return for the second term. Only. So you can imagine the level of debt that Anambra State was suffering. People were massacred on the street, including the chairman of MBA. Security was terrible. Infrastructure was comatose. Education was appalling. Peter Obi came in, turned the whole situation. Within 2 years, 3 years, Anambra was coming first. The medical facilities, golden. Infrastructure, superb. He changed it from consumption to production. That even some of his opponents that don't know what to say, they're accusing him that he invested Anambra State money in some companies that are yielding something for Anambra State today. He met nothing in Anambra State. He saved so much that the subsequent governor used part of it to build an international airport by his own confession. You don't compare gold with carrots.
Is that what you would say between Peter Obi and Bola Tinubu? That those who say Anambra does not measure up. You can't measure Anambra and Lagos State by every standard.
You know, when you want to judge a man, you judge him by his antecedents. You know what happened in Lagos? The Emiloko philosophy is family-tocracy.
Yes, now welcome back. Everybody will know this man family. Make he advise and make he go back to Hollywood. All this thing where they always do are just drama. You see, you just for this matter, me I go rest my case now. Thank you.